Greetings, Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. This is your Western forecast for July 2024. Two big themes. We're having the new moon in Cancer. The sun is in Cancer the first 3 weeks. The new moon in Cancer on July the 5th will hold that Cancer energy to the next new moon into the first week of August. So all of July, there's a major emphasis from the sign of Cancer. Cancer is 8 signs past Sagittarius. This could be putting a real spotlight on financial matters, credits, loans, financial gifts, business, financial negotiations. These are some of the 8th house. The other big theme is the Sun, Venus, Mercury will be in Leo. Leo is fire sign in harmony with Sagittarius, a fire sign. That's Leo emphasis is 9 signs past Sag. So not only are we having this financial negotiation, contract negotiations of the 8th house, now we're bringing in the 9th house. Mercury, negotiating, business savvy, curious, learning, Mercury will be in Leo in your 9th, July the 2nd to July the 25th. That could be a real interest, Mercury, on getting more professional training, going back to school. Just jumping into some examples here, you could be and then Venus, what you value and enjoy, and then later the Sun. One of the things, the 9th house, can be education. Maybe going back to get a master's, a PhD, or just getting more professional training. That's the 9th house. But with the 8th house, that could be really seeking out grants and loans, to be able, scholarships, to be able to pay for this expensive higher education. The Sun will leave Cancer and go into Leo on the 21st until August the 23rd. So now the Sun, well, the Cancer energy is still there for the first week of August, but the Sun in Leo is starting to bring more of an interest with 9th house matters. That Mercury is already, it's been on your mind. You've already been planning and discussing it. That 9th house can have a lot to do with traveling, but with the 8th house, maybe traveling for business. The 9th house can represent publishing or media. Then the 8th house could be the financial negotiations. If you're being offered a publishing contract or any kind of media marketing contract, the 8th house is the contract negotiations. The 9th house is the media, the marketing, the publishing. Now, the new moon sets your intention on July the 5th in your 8th house until the first week of August. But this new moon is in Cancer in harmony with Saturn in Pisces, both water signs. So the Saturn is this stabilizing, grounding influence to the new moon in your 8th house, telling me that anything you're doing with finances or loans and credit and whatnot, the Saturn is telling me that you've got a lot of common sense. You're all going down very practical matters to really stabilize and ground those goals. 2 weeks after a new moon is a full moon. A full moon will bring matters to light that began with the new moon. The full moon is on July the 21st. This full moon is at the last degree of Capricorn, but the Capricorn is opposite Cancer. So all that Cancer in the 8th house of finance and banking and joint ventures, The second is two sides of the same coin. The second is more your personal income, where the eighth house deals with other people's monies and all your professional and financial responsibilities. So this full moon is bringing around the 21st, maybe the 20th to the 23rd, bringing to light a lot of issues around your income. That could be signing the deal, the financial deal. That could be, you sign the contracts, the check comes in. But that full moon on the 21st, which always is a really emotional time, bringing a lot of matters to light, will also have decision-making, discerning, business-savvy Mercury in a square or hard angle to unpredictable, rebellious Uranus on the same day. So any major planetary configuration going on the day of a new moon or the day of a full moon will hold that energy until the next new moon or full moon. So the full moon really is only for a couple of days, but it's holding all this energy for up to 2 weeks. Mercury-Uranus could mean having to make really sudden decisions. Or Mercury, the mind, you could be really stressed out with with the tempo of all these business decisions. Now, with that in mind, Mars, 2-year cycle, it's going into Gemini on July the 20th. But from early June until July the 20th, Mars is in Taurus, once every 2 years, transiting your 6th house. The 6th house is work and health. You got to be careful about accidents with Mars is impatient, but it can be, you can channel it more positively so you don't have an accident with exercising, because Mars is the athlete moving through your 6th house of body maintenance. But the Mars will be exactly aligning with rebellious, unpredictable Uranus on July the 15th in your 6th house. Now, the 6th house is work, your job, employees, but also body maintenance or healthcare. Now, that Mars-Uranus once every 2 years can be very explosive, rebellious energies. It can also, without being so negative about it, could be this breakthrough, fighting Mars for your freedoms, Uranus. But with the 6th house, a couple of things to keep in mind as we get close to July the 15th. The 6th house could be your job. And with Mars-Uranus, you could be suddenly laid off or fired. Or you might be feeling this enormous pressure as I can't keep doing this anymore. I've got to quit my job. The 6th house, body maintenance. With Mars-Uranus, if you're feeling really anxious and stressed out, you could slip and twist your ankle. You could be, let's not be dire, you could be in a parking lot at the grocery store, and you back out and you didn't notice a car and it's a fender bender. Nobody's hurt, but there's that Mars-Uranus could be all that stress and anxiousness with an accident. But if you're not staying really focused and grounded, you could be having an accident, or you're just feeling really angry and you could direct it towards your job when you're telling your boss to go take a hike. Now, and then there's the full, now that's the 15th. On the 21st is the full moon with Mercury-Uranus. You're making all these sudden snap decisions, and the full moon is in your 2nd house of income. Some of you, that whole week, if you've been really worried about how you can't take it any longer, I would advise start coming up with a backup plan, because the emotions could hit you so strong that you just tell everybody to take a hike as you walk out the door. Now, Mars goes into Gemini July the 20th to September the 4th, once every 2 years. Mars is ambitious, aggressive, assertive. It's in Gemini, opposite Sagittarius. So fiery, argumentative, impatient, aggressive Mars is moving through your 7th house of marriage, partnerships, contracts. Sometimes the Mars initially needs to, any resentments, clear the air, bring it all to the surface, have a blowout fight, clear the airs, and move forwards. But this Mars is going to be very favorable to you because Jupiter's in Gemini, which I've been talking about for the last couple of months. Jupiter is your ruling planet. Jupiter is all about protection and luck and optimism and growth. Jupiter went into Gemini, into your 7th, at the end of May 2024, once a year, once every 12 years, till May of 2025. The Mars with the Jupiter is really favorable for the whole world, wherever it's triggering in your chart. It's Mars is all this ambition and work, achieving your goals. And Jupiter brings the opportunities. Jupiter is making it all possible and being very lucky. And this Mars-Jupiter together, July the 20th till September the 4th, is in your 7th house of marriage and partnerships and contracts. Some of you could get a marriage proposal. Some of you could be getting a major contract offer, which I already talked about with the 8th house. It can also be that you're forming a partnership with an associate, with a friend, and with the 8th house emphasis, you're really focusing on all the business negotiations. With the 9th house, that could bring, the 9th house also deals with legal matters. You might even having to bring in an attorney to look at all the contracts, or the 9th house, as I said, all this partnerships and business negotiations could be on 9th house issues with media marketing or an online business. So this is a very active, dynamic month. Be careful around July the 15th, but who knows? It could be a real breakthrough energies. It's not always the worst case scenario. Venus, that planet of pleasure and love and romance, because everyone wants to hear a little bit about love. And the Venus is in Leo, July the 11th till August the 4th. Leo is a fire sign compatible with Sag, but the Venus is transiting the 9th house, along with the Mercury and the Sun. If you took a vacation, a pleasurable trip, that's Venus. 9th house, long distance, or international, you would really enjoy it. But you could be going with friends or going by yourself and going on a vacation and just meeting new people and having the best time of your life. Some of you could go on a trip, a vacation, that's Venus in the 9th of traveling, and meet somebody and start a whole new relationship if you are available and open to it. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to sign up for my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.